Y'all know what time it is. Welcome to BoltBlitz Uncut. I'm your host, Booga Peters. Welcome to Mondays with the best co-host in the business, Burt Grossman, former Chargers legend. And he's got a lot to say tonight. And for those of you who are unaware, when I say legend, he literally at the time was the first pass rusher to have double-digit sacks to start his career in year one and year two. But they don't talk about that enough, especially among the Chargers organization. We'll get into that too. Burt, as much as I want to tell everybody how well you're doing, I already know you're doing great.
Mm-hmm.
Let's kind of dip right into it though. The franchise tag number and the transition tag numbers have come out unofficially via Spotrac regarding what re-signing an Odafe Oweh, an edge rusher who had 0 sacks with Baltimore before he was traded for Alohi Gilman. Peace out, Alohi crew. Y'all are crazy. That cat was just, he didn't obviously understand how to diagnose defenses. It was always like this weird thing where it's like, oh, I don't know how I got beat over the top. I was expecting help. You are the help. And although Gilman did have a decent season with Baltimore, he has not missed. Oweh, on the other hand, might be missed. It looks like $26.8 million to re-sign Oweh at that franchise tag. The transition tag, which I need to do some more homework on, it's right around 22. But how important is it in your mind for the Chargers to bring back a pass rusher as athletic as Odafe Oweh, or should their sights be set on making sure that Khalil Mack finishes his career as a Charger?
You know, those numbers are just crazy to me. 7 sacks and you're getting almost $30 million. I got run out of town.
It was 7.5.
I got traded one year because I had 5.5, and they thought I was done, which I probably was. But and that was in a half a season. I'm like, good Lord, 7's getting you $30 million now. But I mean, Mack coming back, I can't imagine his age, and he's been here for a while, and he's comfortable in the locker room. I can't imagine him coming back one more year just to go somewhere totally new, transition, start fresh. That just makes no sense. But again, at that age, you never know when you fall off the cliff. Is he going to be any good, next year? I mean, he might be great. He might be totally, hit father time comes in 1 year. But Odafe, that's a lot of money. But pass rushers make a lot of money. And I don't know if the new defense coordinator will use him like Minter did. I mean, you bring in a guy, he might use him like they did at Baltimore, and then he's not worth anything. So that's a tough call depending on who they hire.
Well, it's really tough. I mean, they've got Chris O'Leary there, who everybody wants to make sure that he's a step up above Minter. I'm not so sure about that. Minter earned that job in Baltimore. I mean, quick question: what are your thoughts regarding Mack following, or maybe both Mack and Odafe Oweh following Jesse Minter to Baltimore? Considering they don't have a lot of cap space, but I'll just say this for the folks out there who don't understand. If you try hard enough, you can really manipulate the salary cap any fucking way that you want. Burt, you were watching it with Denver, New Orleans. They've been doing that shit forever since the salary cap's been in there. But how likely is it that you see either one of those guys go to Baltimore in your mind? And in the Chargers, they're not really going to overpay for a pass rusher, except for the fact they did so for Joey Bosa. They learned that the hard way. Again, Odafe Oweh, almost $27 million. Ugh, that's kind of tough. Mack is probably going to sit in that $14 to $16 million range. Great edge setter, incredible against the run. Your thoughts, and who would you rather have back if you had to think of it that way?
I would rather have Mack back just because he's been there, the leadership. I mean, Oafe's been there 7, 8 games or whatever his games were, 10. I don't know. The other part is I don't know why he. You have to see why he went out of Baltimore. I mean, did the whole building not like him, or was it just John Harbaugh that didn't like him? And now John Harbaugh's gone. I'll come back because John Harbaugh had full say there, and the only one that had a lower grade than Jim Harbaugh was John Harbaugh. So I guess they're both dicks. But hold
on, that's a great segue into what we're going to talk about later. We're Burt and I, as a duo, if you will, we're tired of hearing about the report cards that have come out via the players voting on how they appreciated and graded not just the owner, but the offensive coordinator, the head coach, the defensive coordinator, the food, the treatment of the families. But we'll get to that later. I'll tell you this right now. And Brandon Felice, nice to see you here, brother. And he's saying I'd rather have Mack, and I don't blame you for that. There's a consistency in Mack, and I'll tell you, the guy's just really itching to get a bowl. He wants that chip. He wants that championship. really needs a Super Bowl. Remember, he was drafted by the Raiders, went to Chicago, and now he's a Charger, obviously, and he has been for a couple of years. I would expect now that he announced.
Did you see that? Did you see the graphic? He's the highest paid NFL player in history that's not a quarterback.
Non-QB, and it's like 200. I mean, it's a lot of money.
It's up there. It's up there.
So you set me up so good. You're so good at this. God, I love you.
I know. I help you out.
So I know you know.
I'm your wingman.
That's part of the problem sometimes.
I left you a bump in the stall in the bathroom too. But
I look forward to cleaning it out because here at the Section 8 studios, we clean the bathrooms. God damn it!
I said a bump. I said a bump. I left you in there.
Jesus Christ! If
What'd you think? I said dump.
Tank, I'm blind. You got to.
Like I left a dump in there. I said bump, not dump.
Yeah, well, I'm on 5 GI meds, so I always hear no matter what. But no, seriously, I love you so much. A bump, yeah, I might with my deviated septum at this point. For the record, since he's got me completely off the rails, my beauty, my favorite, the only beer I've had and drank about, I don't know, between 12 and 30 a day for the last 5-6 years. Natural Light Strawberry Lemonade Natter Days has been discontinued. Apparently it happened back in August, and I'm just lucky enough to drink my pink can of beer. There are plenty of people who fuck with me on this show about it all the time. I'm going to miss it. I'm looking forward to finding a replacement or just quitting drinking. I really don't know where I'm going to go with that, but I'm devastated. I will try to resort from skiing because I was really good at the bumps, so to speak, and the moguls. Really like those, but that's why I have a hole eating through my. We say so much on the show, by the way.
I know you share way so much.
No, I don't think we do. I don't think we do. People get to know you, and then the advertisers decide if they want to roll with us or not. We have one lined up, by the way. You and I will talk about that post show. But I think people appreciate that we're real. Let's move on from the pass rushers. Listen, I think it's pretty clear that both Burt and I would like to see Mack back. And I'll be honest. Initially, it was like, what's his price tag? This and that. The more I thought about it, it's too difficult for me to try to accept that Thule is just going to be not just the number one guy, but provide all the chutzpah and the pass rush and the run stopping. You can't do that in this league, especially in a passing league. You've got tight ends that no longer weigh 260 and can block. They weigh 225 and 230, and they're running routes like wide out. Different league. Let's segue into Zion Johnson. The Chargers denied picking up his 5th-round option. He's now slated to be a free agent. Everyone and their dog saw what Aaron Banks got paid, former Notre Dame Fighting Irish guard at the time. When he went to San Francisco, he got $19.25 million per year. It was written a little different than that, but that's how the contract looks to everybody. Zion, athletic, strong as all get out. It's going to be very well. He does suck, but it's going to be difficult to retain him. Chargers fans are sitting here going, well, we want a little bit of continuity. And it's like, well, what kind of continuity would you have? I went to the left first. I guess I want Joe Alt to be a left tackle. But anyway, Rashawn Slater, and then, of course, Alt. But then you have Zion Johnson right there slotted in next to him.
No.
It's not worth, in my mind, even half that, maybe a little over half that, but it's about 22 million or 20 to 22 million is what people are slotting in for Zion Johnson. You said he sucks, so you're clearly not interested in him.
I would pay him Courtney Hall money, $350,000 a year.
Man, Courtney was so good too, though.
No, I know, but that was about his salary. I mean,
horrible. I hope he gets your ass for that.
Why do you want continuity after watching that all? Historically, one of the worst offensive lines in football. You don't want any continuity from last year. You want turnover. And I don't think it's hard to find three inside people. They make it seem like it's impossible because it was last year was the same offseason talk. The interior is terrible. Now this year, 2 guys get hurt on the outside, and the outside's terrible, and the interior is terrible. But it shouldn't be that hard to fix 3 guys, especially with free agency.
Well, and that's just the thing, too, is because one of the things we talked about last year on BoltBlitz during the offseason, and we praised, and I'm not good at this, by the way, but we praised the Bolt fam. We praised all Chargers fans the second least intelligent fan base in the entire NFL behind the Raiders, of course.
Cowboys.
But everybody agreed that the interior line needed to be replaced, upgraded, fixed, however the fuck you want to put it. And you know who didn't agree? Harbaugh and Ortiz. Burt, when you look at that shit, you and I, you know, we've talked, and obviously you've been co-hosting the show for a little bit, and we're incredibly thankful. But who's in charge there? I've been vocal about the fact that it's Harbaugh, but I don't think people understand that when you bring in a Harbaugh, he really is in charge, regardless of who the GM is. How much impetus do you think he has on every pick, free agent decision, and everything they're doing there in that organization now?
I think he is fully in charge, and for a couple of reasons. I know him, so I know he wouldn't take the job unless he's fully in charge. He's insane. Secondly, the fact that he got a C- grade tells you he's in charge.
Right.
Because he's the one finding people. He's the one telling people shut the hell up. He's the one doing all the dirty work, and he got the low grade. And you can just look at the low grade and tell he's in charge.
So I'm so glad. And you know what? We'll skip this shit. We'll get back to Zion in a minute. I don't mind doing the report card shit right now because I think it's important that fans hear this because I'm really tired of the whole Harbaugh got a C+. I can't imagine that. Motherfucker, they're singing he's a jolly good fellow when they win. These are grown-ass men. They're not fucking 6-year-olds in fucking choir where they're learning do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. They're literally trying to build a business around what is the Los Angeles Chargers as an organization. We have the Bolt and SoFi, whether they're renters or not, I don't give a fuck. There are so many teams that rent their stadiums, by the way, but the Chargers with no fans and this and that. Chargers fans showed up towards the especially the end of last season at SoFi. It wasn't so much a 50-50 thing. The Chargers fans were actually outnumbering the opposing fans. When you let's talk about Harbaugh, and it was a C+, not a C-. But is part of that, and I think it's fair to say this, is part of that due to the fact that Jim Harbaugh decided to keep Greg Roman. Maybe we call him the Stegosaurus of offensive coordinators, but he's prehistoric as fuck, and you know.
Yeah. And I'm sure that it's a good point. I'm sure that was part of it because I don't know what Harbaugh got last year, but I know it was higher than that. But yeah, there's a couple things. You're a ball breaker, so it becomes a popularity contest, especially when you're a ball breaker for people making millions and millions of dollars. So I'm just not going to vote good because I don't like you because you're holding me accountable. But there's also we're all making millions and millions of dollars, and it's $1 billion business, and you're bringing in somebody like Greg Roman because he's your best friend and you've been together for 30 years or 20 years.
Rockford Files RVs right next to each other, brother, right there on the beach.
And you know, as a staff, you'll go into a meeting and play, or coaches will call out players, but coaches won't call out other coaches.
And
that becomes a little issue too when it's obvious and you're looking at this guy and you're like, he's running like a wing T or some shit from 1980. I don't know what the fuck he ran.
I loved wing T when I was coaching Pee Wee ball.
He's running some shit like that. I mean, this shit was just. Especially now when you look at some of the shit people run, like Ben Johnson. I mean, some of the younger guys, and you look at like Greg Roman, you're like, how come you haven't retired? Like, there's high schools with more, complex offenses.
Innovation and shit to get done.
Yeah.
Use the defense. And now they have Mike McDaniel at offensive coordinator. You've got to be excited for that as far as if you're a fan, and it sounds like it, of the revolutionizing of this Chargers offense with Justin Herbert, number 10, under center.
And you have to be. I mean, I think that hire and even bringing in who was Adam Gase to be I mean, that just shows you how desperate and how bad it was with Greg Roman last year that they're willing to go those two whack jobs and bring him in.
It's crazy. It's going to be the weirdest press conferences ever. I wish I lived out there permanently. I obviously don't for now. Give me 3 years, folks. But anyway, once I do get out there, we'll definitely make sure that we have the best coverage that's going to be provided because we used to do that when they were back in San Diego. We asked difficult questions without pressing the coaches too much. We made sure that the fans got the information that they wanted to hear.
How did what's his name? Not back on the grades. How did Dean get an A-? He's been a perennial F student.
On the grades, you just cut me off because you're incredible and you read my mind. Dean Spanos getting an A-. I'll tell you exactly fucking why. The Bolt, making Joey Bosa the highest paid pass rusher when he did. Remember, this is during the transition, by the way, from San Diego to LA. So Dean knew what he was doing, or he was actually advised by somebody who knew what they were doing or what they thought he should do. And then it's Derwin, and then Herbert, and then Slater, who, of course, obviously gets the biggest O-line contract in NFL history. And then what does he do? He gets hurt, because why wouldn't that happen to a Chargers team, regardless of where they're at? But
and he paid Harbaugh a bunch of money to bring him in.
The Spanos family is not exactly somebody who's catered to the players nor the fans back in the day. When they moved to LA, there was a different impetus, I believe, put on how they would at least look publicly. And that includes spending money regarding how they take care of their greats. But what are they doing for the other guys? You've been a part of the Chargers organization under the Spanos family. RIP to Alex, miss you, brother. Whatever you did, although you did some shady shit too, for those of you who are not aware, I won't get into it, but you can literally Google search it. Thank you, Nick Milliken, my mentor and buddy. I appreciate you, man. He pointed out some shit to me that really had me upset with Alex, which I was a big fan of Mr. Spanos, Alex Spanos. But you look at that, you look at this family, you were a part of it. Let's go to the next grade. The treatment of families this past season, a C+ at the fucking Bolt. There's a pool and all this fun shit. And yet they got treatment of families C+ grade.
That's the crazy part, because this day and age and all the money in football and everything else that goes around in free agency and popular, that should be an automatic A+ for every team. That's like low-hanging fruit that's so easy to do. That should be an A+ for not just Chargers. Every team should be A+ for that. I get it. You miss on coaches, you miss on players, you miss on contracts, but you don't miss on that. That's impossible to miss on unless you want to miss on it.
Yeah, it's almost okay. You nailed it at the end for me, anyway. It feels intentional when you're not willing to take care of the families of the players who literally keep the sport alive. And of course, the fans are a part of making sure. I understand the fans keep the sport going around and all that, but we saw during the COVID season, the NFL kept rolling. You know, when there were no fans in the stands, the football was still going. The NFL is a forever business as far as they're concerned. All they're trying to do is advance and ensure themselves that they can be an international brand. They hate that soccer or football is more popular than the NFL worldwide. And it's obviously something that they're concentrating on, not just a little, but a lot. But let's stick with the report card so we can kind of close this off. Position coaches, C+. Now, that's not your OC, your DC, so that's not Greg Roman. We've piled on him enough, and everybody else did. Jesse Minter got an A+, by the way, the former Chargers defensive coordinator. He's now the head coach of the Ravens.
I mean, that also has to make you wonder. So as far as players liking coaches and that dynamic, every coach basically got a C+, which is a bad grade, except for the guy that left. So why does everybody not like any of the other coaches? Because it's not just Minter. It's the head. I mean, not Minter. It's not Greg.
They're singing "Jolly Good Fucking Fellow" every time. That song's from the 30s or something goofy.
But that's on Harbaugh. But the assistant coaches are getting C's too, so they must think they're not doing a good job, obviously. And the one guy that was doing a bang-up job goes somewhere else.
Oh, and he's running the show now. And he's taken over for brother, too. The brother of the head coach. I don't think that's talked about enough. Sure, a couple outlets have mentioned it, but Minter was like, I'm going to take this opportunity, but I'm going to take over where the brother who got it right. I think John was there for 18 seasons, won a Super Bowl, did so many incredible things. That being said, I think that John's kind of chose his way out of Baltimore because he wanted a fresh start. Now he's the head coach of the New York Giants. The NFL, I'm telling you, the NFL is loving this. They have a Harbaugh in New York, and they have a Harbaugh on the other side of the country in Los Angeles. Goodell, I'm sure, is touching himself privately very often just for that reason. You have polarizing personalities in both places, but the Chargers are sitting here and their fans going, I'm really unsure of how to feel about everything. And when people saw the report cards, Burt, I'll tell you right now, the angriest I've been, other than my beer getting discontinued, which we'll talk about the pink can later, is the fact that we look at these fans saying, I cannot believe that Jim Harbaugh was given a C+, back-to-back 11-win seasons. Yeah, these players found a way to get it done, but what does it mean as a former player to kind of go through some of the things that let's just say an out-of-date coach, I'm not labeling him that, but let's just say, for example, when you're trying to get shit done and you're trying to compete in a division like the AFC West, with Denver, who went 14-2, even though the Chiefs fell off. Well, I mean, come on now. They still have Mahomes and Andy Reid. When you see that kind of thing, how disheartening is that for you as a player?
I think the disheartening thing, and, they'll go back and say won 11 games, but as players, you'll be like, we won 11 games with the shittiest offensive line in football. We won 11 games with the shittiest offense coordinator in football, and you didn't fix it, and you knew it going into the season. That's why you get a C+. It wouldn't be, hey, we won 11 games. Thanks, Jim. It's no, we didn't win the Super Bowl because things you wouldn't fix that you might fix this year, but you knew they were a problem last year and you didn't fix them. You didn't address them. We all knew Greg Roman wasn't great. Could not take advantage of Justin Herbert, a guy that gets MVP votes with the worst offensive line in the league and puts up numbers. You couldn't do anything with him. You couldn't. Everybody, Mike Gardner, if I had one, if I could afford one, knew that they had to fix the interior offensive line going into last season. Didn't do it. Granted, 2 guys get hurt. You can't account for that, but that's a part of the accountability. It's like you knew it was there and you didn't fix it. So great, we won 11 games, but you know what? We should have won 14. We should have been the Super Bowl.
So that's a perfect, and you're so good at this, as I've mentioned so many times. You segued right into, and we didn't even talk about this pre-show. You segued into my next subject, if you will. This is a Chargers team that has always claimed that, hey, I really want to. Jesus Christ, David Shaw. Harbaugh's 4. He's a jolly good fellow. Is better than Mike Riley's hip hip hooray.
Oh, Mike Riley.
Burt, your thoughts.
I mean,
you can say whatever you want on this show, and you know it.
I know. I like Harbaugh. Like I said, I grew up. I've known Harbaugh since I was in college. I've known him.
Yeah, but rip on Mike Riley because it's fun on this show.
Oh, Mike Riley, jeez. I wouldn't even know where to start. Or McCoy, or Kevin Gilbride, or who's the other one? The Anthony.
Anthony Lynn. No, we can keep going. I got
Anthony Lynn. Who was the other one? The goofball after Staley.
Brandon Staley. Oh,
I guarantee you, the NFL said, we're hiring your next coach because you are absolute shit at it. I mean, that lineup I just gave you.
Decision.
Yeah, if you want to go to LA, we're hiring the next coach. After Staley I don't even know what that was, but
I don't think this fan base is ready to find out how much the NFL has control over decisions like head coaches and what the divisions look like. I don't think they're ready for that.
I think especially with teams like the Chargers that are in marquee markets, and you can't be a shit show. You can be a shit show in Green Bay, even though they have the history and everything else. You can be a shit show in Cincinnati or Cleveland. You can't be a shit show in LA. That's like the Jewel, or New York, even though they're always shit shows there. For some reason they haven't fixed them, but I don't know how, the Jets get to be a shit show every year.
Well, because the Giants find a way every fucking half a decade or decade to kind of make a little bit of noise and be good.
Make up for it.
Congrats to the former San Diego Charger Eli Manning for making that shit still fucking stick, which is so weird to say out loud. But listen, this Chargers organization, they're in a weird kind of juxtaposition as far as I'm concerned, as far as really keeping the fan base. Not just, I don't think it's everybody's Charger fans spend money. People don't understand that, but they really, really spend money. Chargers fans actually travel better than they do showing up at home, except for this last season. It's been nice to see the numbers and the output. We've got Jessica Thompson, reporter for BoltBlitz in 2026. Also our nominee for Fan of the Year for 2026. Can't wait to work with her more closely and get her name out there for everybody who is tired of seeing these motherfuckers win this Fan of the Year shit that are like, oh, well, I got season tickets from my friend and I showed up every now and then, or it's like, it's brand new, or I'm a paid actor. I'm not pointing out anybody specifically.
Yeah, was that chick the crazy woman? What was her name? It was jumping up and down.
I cannot say any names, but I agree. I will just say this: here we go. I'm in the minority saying that I do not believe she's a paid actor.
You don't?
I do not, Burt.
Are you all right? Are you gonna blink Morse code and tell me you're lying?
I'm trying so hard.
You know what you sound like? You remember that dude from the Iraq War, Baghdad Bob, that kept getting on there? And he's like, we've taken the enemy and sunken 26 battleships today. That's what you sound like right now.
Well, I'm good at that occasionally. Every now and then I get to mask. Although I pretty much say everything that's on my mind. I mean, we talked about my penchant for old women with hairy bushes on one show. Yeah. I mean, we did do that, which is still very true for those of you.
When you say stuff like that, what the hell kind of sponsor are you saying we're going to get?
I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about that. We can cut out whatever we want. We can say what we want. We can adapt because we're fucking smart as shit.
Like
I'm
old
not
women with big bushes.
that. It's just to see that there's a dynamic duo here that has, I believe, what is some of the best coverage of the Chargers out there, because there's just, when you pull punches, that's cute and whatever. But, and yeah, I'm not going to mention the name of the fan we're talking about because I understand that I'm not trying to piss off the powers that be that may provide us with sponsors down the road. We were going to have Anheuser-Busch, which I was actually in talks with regarding this shit. And they're like, oh, we'll talk to you this summer. We have a new flavor coming out. They didn't tell me they were getting rid of the flavor that I adore and love. So I either quit drinking or I find something different. If you get bored, throw me a couple ideas in the comment section. That wouldn't suck. You're listening to BoltBlitz Uncut. I'm your host, Booga Peters, joined by the best co-host in the business and former Chargers legend, Burt Grossman. Before we let this skip, we talked about the way that the report card goes, and this is the last part on the report card. The Chargers special teams unit, bottom 32, the bottom. Yeah. They were 32nd, almost everywhere. Ficken got an A-. So is that more a reflection on Harbaugh and the decisions being made? Or is it they just kind of like the guy? I mean, tell me about an NFL locker room and how that happens in this kind of scene.
I mean, to them, look, they have their contract. Whatever the contract says they get, they don't give a shit about this report card. It's a popularity contest, same as the Pro Bowl voting. It's I like him. He's cool to me. He didn't make me run gas starts for fucking something up. You're getting an A. You're getting an A. So that doesn't affect them. They don't get called into HR. It's just bullshit. I mean, it's just who I like and who I don't like. It's a popularity contest.
No, and you know, we're going to close out the report card with this. We're all big fans of the Chargers winning back-to-back seasons of 11 games, so to speak. That's awesome, considering, you know, it was a 5-12 season in Brandon Staley's. It's so hard to say that out loud, but under his watch, if you will, it was really hard to see that. And then the 63-21 loss to the Raiders. I mean, that's you don't lose 1-3. And if y'all need to do the math, do it on your fucking own. I'm not going to do it for you. You don't need to do that to make changes like that. The Spanos family should have known better far prior to that game. They held on. Did it cost the job of Brandon Staley and Tom Telesco? Yeah, it did. Telesco, by the way, you know, I'm seeing him on shows now, former Chargers general manager, raised up, if you will, under Bill Polian there of the Colts. I do not miss him at all, but we're going to try to get him on the show anyway, because I think that would be really funny. He actually dislocated my wrist celebrating a Chargers win over the St. Louis Rams with Sean Hill at quarterback, and they were picked up, the Marcus Gilchrist safety picked them off in the red zone. I'm sure Shaw might remember this because he's got that type of mind. And hell, I'm not even sure that who else did we have in here? Hold up. I would imagine Brandon remembers that too, because he's a big San Diego Chargers fan, and he's working through the transition, but he's been a Chargers fan no matter what. It's hard to look at the franchise tag numbers and the transition tag numbers, I'm sure, for you. We're going to back off of this real quick before we move forward. The Chargers have the second or third most salary cap in the league, but I want to come back to this because I'm getting all these messages on my phone. Odafe Oweh, is there any world in which you pay him $27 million?
No. I mean, it's such a short window, and it's that he had 3 of those 7 sacks against that dog shit rookie from New England. I mean, I don't see it. And again, you lost the defense coordinator that maximized him. Is the next guy going to be able to maximize him, or is he going to be the same shit that it was in Baltimore where he did nothing? So I don't think you can put that kind of money and make that kind of commitment after, you know, half a season with somebody new. And Mack might, like I said, he might fall off the edge, but at least you know what you're having with Mack, leadership, everything else. I mean, he's been solid for 100 years. What's to say he's not going to be solid for another 101?
Yeah.
I mean, I would use the money to get Mack, and any money I had. Look, the edge isn't their issue. They're not going to miss a Super Bowl because they're missing an edge guy. They're going to miss Super Bowl because of their offensive line, or anything deep in the playoffs because of their offensive line. It's not going to be we're that one edge away from making the conference championship. Right. I mean, I love the edge players because I was one, but if you don't have the interior or the offensive line, it doesn't matter who you have on defense.
I love that you're like, by the way, I was an edge. But and it's not that you nominalized what it is to be an edge. It's just that in today's NFL right now, if you can't protect 10 and get the offense going and score points, I know what Seattle did defensively, and they just won the Super Bowl. It's a cyclical league. I expect it to continue to keep changing. But if you cannot protect one of the top, 7 highest paid players in the league and Justin Herbert, then you're not trying. You ran it back with Bradley Bozeman and Zion Johnson, who it's easy to say it was all Bozeman's fault as far as being incapable of picking up a stunt. Zion's on. He's the left guard. He has some say in what happens.
Yeah, he's not real good either. I don't.
And obviously, I mean, for all those out there listening, and I'm not going to lead you too hard because I'm not a prosecutor nor a defending lawyer, but obviously you don't expect Mekhi Becton back.
No, not at all. I don't.
And that's a $9.78 million cap savings. As soon as he's cut, pop, just put that shit on the books.
He'll definitely be cut. I don't know what they do, to be honest with you. But like I said, just a second ago, if you don't fix that, nothing else matters. It just doesn't matter.
For this team to move forward, it's not just about 10, because I'm constantly trying to revert back to 10. But you have a
you know what the problem is, though, Dave? It is about 10 because you're only with the offense line like that where he's running to kill himself. You're only that away from a ruptured Achilles, a blown ACL on your quarterback, and then it doesn't matter who you have at edge. You're screwed. You're done. I mean,
this motherfucker is bringing up ACLs and Achilles right now.
Yeah.
I'm coming off of 3 Achilles tears, and I just got done rupturing my ACL, completely torn. We're all the way good. I'm in a brace now. I actually wear it every now and then, but I'll be healthy for this event, and that's where we're going to segue and get this incredibly popular, good-looking motherfucker off my screen in Burt Grossman. We are doing something right now, a very special announcement, and this BoltBlitz has been doing meetups for a very long time, but it's been a very long time since we did one. June 24th through the 29th. It looks like June 27th, a Saturday. We're still looking for a venue, but I need you to understand that I'm really good at this. Nobody throws parties like me, and it's always been like that since I was in high school. BoltBlitz is going to throw a meetup in the San Diego area because that works out best for everybody. It will be close enough to Los Angeles to where everybody can attend, but a BoltBlitz meetup includes former players, raffles, media members, free shit to win, and specials on everything that we're about to embark into, regardless of the venue. I cannot look forward to it more. It's been since my health got really bad that I've been able to travel out there. I wasn't able to, sadly, say goodbye to my best friend, Thomas Powell. He passed away in a San Diego hospital. I cannot miss him more than I do, but I can tell you this. What he and I did the best was throw parties, so it's going to be on me, and I did better than he did when it came to scheduling shit because he just wanted to show up and drink and hang out. I really look forward to it. By the way, we have Burt already confirmed, and I'll find a place close to your spot. But
if you want to go, you don't have to be close to me. If you want to go close to LA, you got to go to like Oceanside or something.
I mean, the Oceanside vibe is nice because obviously the Sayal family and a lot of Chargers fans are right there because it's kind of that right in between. If it's not right in between, but you know the area better than I do.
You been to Oceanside lately?
No, I have not.
Dude, it looks like Laguna Beach now or La Jolla. It is.
Oh no, really?
Oh,
it hurts my feelings.
Oh, you know what? You get off here, Google Oceanside and check out like the Strand and all the hotels and the new restaurants.
Oh, don't do this to me. I used to get good deals down there.
No, it's different now.
That's all right. I'll adapt just fine, and I'll have them pay for me to be a part of what they're doing. I'm not worried about that. I do all right with this shit. Right. But what I want to know, or I want people to know, is well, BoltBlitz doesn't throw small events. We're 250 people, 375 people, and we max out over 700. There are opportunities for vendors. If you're selling things and you would like to find out if you have an opportunity to be a part of what we're doing, you can reach out to me at Booga Peters at yahoo.com. That's BOOGAPETERS. You can also go find me on social media at Booga Peters. It's pretty easy to spell. If you're on the old people app like me, which is my favorite still, I cannot stand y'all on the young apps anymore. I guess I'm kind of aging out of that shit. You're so fucking annoying. You're all so controversial and like, oh, pew, pew, pew. Why don't y'all throw a bomb every now and then? Not trying to suggest we should throw a lot of bombs. I realize in today's climate, that's probably not the best usage of words right now. But that being said, I'm not afraid to do that either. Burt, anything you're working on? I know you're going to come to the BoltBlitz meetup, but I see you here every Monday. The fans are blessed to have you as much as I am. What do you got going on? And of course, the San Diego Strike Force season. Burt is actually the president of San Diego Strike Force. When do y'all start playing ball? And tell us a little bit about that, please.
Our first game is March 23rd at Front Wave Arena. We actually players report this weekend coming up. So they start to report and we start camp on Monday. So it's right around the corner.
So if I'm healthy enough to catch kicks and punts, you're going to give me a shot?
Yeah, I'll give you a shot. Come out and watch a game. They're pretty exciting.
I want to play. I want to play.
Oh, you want to play? Okay.
Paid.
Would you pass the physical or no?
No, not right now. Hey, listen, I'll tell you right now, in 4 months, maybe.
No, you couldn't. There's a drug test too.
Well, then I definitely could not pass that.
No, I'm kidding.
Do y'all flag for weed? I grow my own pot, as everybody knows.
We don't flag for weed. Come on.
Oh, then I don't know. I don't. Man, I don't. Scheme.
It's legal now. Shit. No, we don't drug test at all. You do have to get a physical though.
Oh well, man, I got a lot of fucking work to do then. Hey, you're not gonna see anybody catch a punt or a kick better than me. It'll just be a matter of if I can move after that anymore. But they gave me number 20. I didn't even want it. I wanted 26 for Lionel James, but they said, no, you move like Barry, as in Sanders, because I played high school football here and youth football in Michigan for the most part. Had a little tryout, and this is really going to make me seem like a piece of shit. Had a little tryout with the semi-pro team, the Walla Walla Stars, but I showed up drunk and stoned. You can imagine.
You didn't make a semi-pro, like a 37U?
No, it wasn't 37U. It was just regular. This is like, I was still married. Actually, it was before I was married. I was like 22 years old, man.
That's sad.
Yeah, but I could still run a 4.49. I had the thing, man.
First of all,
I'm not tall, dark, and handsome. Why do you think all those ladies were sleeping with me? Come on now.
Why don't you just say 4.5? Why do you say 4.49?
Because I will never say 4.5. Never. Because I'll never get there again. And the 4.49 was the most important thing I've done at that time. Like
was that the handheld? Was that handheld timer at the semi?
I'm not gonna comment on that. We didn't have laser timing back then. Shit,
right.
I just busted myself out. Hey, I had multiple people tell me it was a 4.49.
All right,
including me.
Yeah.
Shit, Burt. If y'all are confused, Burt, remind them where they can find you on social media, because I think it's important. We got to get you a little more traction, man. You deserve all the best. I still can't believe you're a Monday co-host, and there's a lot.
I don't even know what my thing is, to be honest with you. Let me look what my.
I think it's just Burt_Grossman, but the L is in there. Your middle initial.
That's on Facebook, the old people app.
I love the old people app. It's the best one.
Yeah, I don't even know what my thing is, to be honest with you. Let me look.
I believe it's Burt_Grossman, but if you're not following there, he's not real active there, but he drops a nugget every now and then. He likes to fuck with me. By the way, picking on me about the Uber, man, I had a house full of teenagers. I can't leave a 6'3", 295 boyfriend of my 17-year-old daughter here alone with her.
Yeah,
so I had to order food out, and everybody, not me, ordered Little Caesars. And then what did I do? I did not pay enough attention because I was late getting back to the kid that was Alex Insdorf of Bolt Breakdowns. Big shout out to him. Incredible show. He was so insightful. Look forward to having him back because I forced him to agree twice. And he's little, so, well, not little, but he's a doctor and training. So he's not aggressive. He's never hand or fought anybody. I don't even know what I was fucking saying right now. I'll just say this. We've got to figure some shit out here. We had Insdorf here. We've got stuff that's kind of growing. Burt, I don't know what your fucking ad is on Twitter, but if you have yet to pay attention to the show, it's because kind of moments like this, I'll get better. You guys will get better as far as commenting. And I see that Kegley is, man, Kegley. Booga is talking about.
You need to put on your graphics. You need to put your social media tags.
when we log in, they're there, but they don't show on the thing. But that is something that I will definitely let Taylor Bloom know, who is our producer, who also is the host of the Electric Edge podcast. If you have yet to check her out, please do. Burt, I'm gonna sign us off before I fucking muddle any more words and look goofier than
all
already.
right. I'm gonna go eat.
I appreciate you. Go eat some. Appreciate you guys. This has been BoltBlitz Uncut, the BoltBlitz meetup, June 27th, somewhere in the Oceanside, San Diego, LA area, somewhere right in between there. Stay tuned. It'll be all over social media. Appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. Peace out.